Hi, I'm Jessica,
And I'm Darcy.
and welcome to the Mother-Daughter Podcast. Before we get started on this video, please like and subscribe and make sure you ring the notification bell so that way you get a notification every time we post a new episode. All right, so this episode we didn't do any notes for because it's a pretty easy one to wing for us, to be honest. We are going to talk about pantry staples because those are very important when trying to live a healthier lifestyle and having like the same things on hand all the time. Because as a busy mom, I am one, she has been one, and she's a busy gran right now anyways.
Yes,
we
true.
can go into our house with no plan for food and grab random things and put it together and make a yummy, delicious meal that most everybody, not counting some of my smaller children, won't complain about.
Yeah.
That one you just can't help.
That's cute.
But, I mean, it's just practice to get there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look in their pantries and they think, oh my gosh, I didn't put anything out. What am I going to do? And unless you're in the practice of trying to figure out, and you know, the key is, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to be like the perfect meal. This goes with this. You can be random, unrelated things, and it's still nutritional. Who cares if one thing goes with another?
You don't have to pair vegetables with meat and this and that. You do not have to be that particular.
Because your family, your kids especially, could care less.
My husband couldn't care.
Yes.
What is his famous phrase? It'll make a turd.
It'll make a turd. I don't know. Should we put that on the video?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay, we'll keep it there. We'll keep it in.
It's a little insulting sometimes when I'm like, make this delicious meal, and I'm like, well, wasn't it great, babe? And he's like, yeah, it was great. It'll make a turd. And I'm like,
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sweetie.
I feel a lot better now. I'm glad I put all that effort in.
But that's okay. I don't care.
That's okay.
Honestly.
The key is to not be afraid just to go in. I mean, in my family, raising her and her sister, we had what I called the smorgasbord night, which was the leftover night. It's just more fun to call it smorgasbord. Even them as kids said, oh, smorgasbord, cool. We get to eat what we want.
Yeah.
Which was great because I got rid of the leftovers. Money didn't get wasted. I pulled all the random things out, put them on the counter, and said, okay, what do you want? And everyone just ate what they wanted.
The random things we put together that don't go.
But don't go at all. And
Yeah.
who cares? As long as you're getting the nutritional value from whatever you're eating. And it's not out of the box, basically. That's the key. It's what we're working toward. The kids don't care. Husbands, to be honest, they don't care. I mean, of course, make a really nice meal. Do candlelight once or twice a month just because it's fun.
Well, see, I don't
Or
know.
all the time like she does.
We have a candelabra on our table, and every time, first of all, we don't have the best lighting at our dining room table, which I actually kind of like. And we have 3 candles. They're beeswax candles, of course. We light them every night for dinner, and the kids get to light them. They get to blow them out. They think it's super, super fun. And I think that there's no bright lights because LEDs aren't good for us. But the candlelight, I feel like it does something different because my kids behave better at candlelight.
Well, there are studies, I'm not an expert, that fire in general, like a fire that you're in your fireplace, a fire pit outside, or even candlelight, does something for your circadian rhythm.
That makes sense.
And it has a calming effect on the brain. So if your kids are a little crazy at dinner, try some candles. Might not.
Turn off the bright overhead lights.
It works for her kids, and I'll tell you, it does a difference.
And it also helps them learn how to light a match.
Yeah.
My 8-year-old, it's a good skill to have.
Yeah,
and
I started a fire in 2nd grade under my mother's bed, lighting matches.
Yeah, you also weren't watched that well.
That's true. I was one of the neglected ex-kids, so yeah.
So
that's probably true. Nobody was watching. Nobody watched us at all, ever.
Okay, so we kind of got the ambiance, and you don't have to be an expert. It takes practice. Just go for it. You don't have to be a chef. You just taste as you go when you cook. Say, that doesn't taste quite right. Let's add this spice. See if that helps. Practice, practice, practice. Your family may hate it for a little bit, but guess what? If you're the chef in your house, if you're the cook, you're the grocery shopper. I've said it in my last video that I did with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
You are the keeper of your house. You have the power because you make the food. You do the shopping. So it's under your complete control of what comes in and out of your house and what goes on the table for your kids to eat or in their lunchbox or whatever. Okay, pantry staples. It's really funny though, because when we used to shop at Natural Grocers quite a bit, I'd only go once a month, and the same guy would check me out at the checkout every single time. And every time he goes, "You're not going to get anything new again?" And I only go there once a month, and I'd get the same things like every single time. It's like, "You're not going to get anything new?" It's like, "I don't need anything new. These is what I get." Okay. So one thing that is super important in my house is tomato paste. You can do so many different things with tomato paste. You can make pasta sauce with tomato paste, and preferably bone broth if you make that, which I'll talk about that a little bit later. Or you can use water and put spices in it, and bam, you have pasta sauce. You have pizza sauce.
Anything tomato.
Chili. Mm-hmm. There's so many different meals that you can make with tomato paste.
And it's not expensive, even for the good stuff.
No, and I used to get some at Natural Grocers. I think it was like $1 something a can for the little cans. And if I'm making a meal for my family, it's like 1 or 2 cans depending on what I'm making. But now we order from Azure, and you can get a big box of it, of the cans, which is great.
A lot cheaper.
Yeah. And I know I can can it and make it, but you know what? In this time of my life, don't have time for that. I'll get to that another time.
It's on the list.
It's on the list of things to learn to do. It's not a high priority.
Our list is so long right now that it hasn't made it to the top.
Yeah. Another thing is obviously jam is something big. Mm-hmm. I think my kids love PB&Js. They like to put it on bagels. They like to put it on pancakes if we don't have syrup. And if y'all don't know this, you need to know this, because as a cottage baker, it says in the rules in Montana, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other places too, that's very, very similar. And I'm 95% sure that it is the same for commercial businesses as well. Jellies and jams have to have 50% of the amount of fruit. It has to be sugar. So it has to be 50% sugar. Yeah. That's regular granulated sugar. And that is not okay. So I make my own jam. It's so easy to make. I buy Pamala's pectin, I think is what it's called. And it's like the only one on the market that I could find without dextrose or sucralose already in the pectin. And yes, I know you can make your own pectin too. Again, it's on the list. So I buy 5 pounds of raspberries and 5 pounds of strawberries from Azure Standard every other month, which I think total for that is like $30 to $40. And I can make how many pints of jam with that?
A lot.
So many. I make jam for all of us.
Yeah, and we got 7 people.
7 people. And it lasts us about 2 months. And then I just buy more, which it's on my list to do this weekend. Actually, I have to make more jam. Yep. And I just do that. Every 2 months, I buy $40 of organic fruit and make it with minimal amount of sugar, and you can even use honey.
So it's $20 a month, and just think about how much jam, if you're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or putting jam on toast, or all the things that people use jam for.
Yeah.
I mean, the jars of jam in the store, even the junky stuff, is like $3 to $4 a jar.
Yeah, and it's like not even real fruit.
It's not even real fruit.
But
anyways, loaded with sugar.
So jam, that's a big one. Yeah. Flours, you have to have bread. If you don't have a grain mill and you're not into that yet, learn how to make sourdough so your body can actually process it. But flour, bread flour, all-purpose flour, always have it on hand. You don't have to have fancy cake flours and pastry flours. You can actually make that yourself by adding things to your all-purpose flour, like potato starch or cornstarch. I prefer potato starch because I don't trust corn. But you just add a certain amount and you have pastry flour. So if you like to make cakes and stuff and you prefer to use pastry flour and all that kind of stuff, you can make that yourself. Look it up. Baking powder, obviously. Baking soda. Those are always staples. Sea salt. A good salt. We use Himalayan sea salt. We really like that one. Again, we get it at Azure Standard. We used to shop pretty much in Helena.
Exclusively
once a month. We'd go group. We'd fill the entire back of my Suburban, and we'd have her groceries, my groceries. We'd go to Costco, and we'd go to Natural Grocers.
Yeah.
And those are the only two places we ever shopped.
Yeah.
And we got everything we needed. So, but now we just have Azure Standard. We just started a drop here in Wise River, which is great to get all my pantry staples from one place. Okay, so back to the staples. Tomato paste, I said that. Jam, flours,
Let's go over
spices. Those are super important.
Yeah.
We have the salt. We talked about that. Pepper, garlic powder, herbs de Provence.
Hold on. Not garlic salt.
Yeah, not garlic salt. Granulated garlic.
Yeah. And let's and I'm going to talk about.
Yes, please.
Okay, so
I feel like I'm taking over the conversation.
Well, she does most of the cooking, so it's okay. I don't care. But one of the things, I went to visit some friends recently, and they were very accommodating related to how they spice their food when I was visiting. And so what was nice about it, that they actually were able to look at what they had. And I noticed, and like a lot of people, and I'm guilty from way back, when you have a spice drawer full of stuff, a lot of it you don't even use. But if you go through it, and anything in there that has a caking agent or things that aren't actually spices, like they have the list of spices and then the other things.
Like silicone.
And the interesting thing is spices, a lot of them have shelf life when you make them yourself, because if you use them all the time, you'll be making more. So you look at the spices that you like, the ones that are put together, like the taco seasoning or chili seasonings, or any of the things that you like that are kind of already grouped together, Italian seasonings. Just get all those separate by themselves and then mix them together the way you like. And you will not, number one, save money. Number two, you'll use them all, and you're not consuming all those additional ingredients that are completely unnecessary.
It's a huge one.
And you'll save money. I mean, so does it take a little time? Sure, but you'll find that the joy that you get, so like, oh, you have this little bowl and your spoon and your little thing, and you're like, a little this, a little that, you smell it. And there's a lot of joy. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo. I find a lot of joy in the mixing of the aroma of it all.
Well,
and I love that.
I'm going to add to that, though, because I used to buy taco seasoning all the time from Natural Grocers, but I don't think there was any, as far as I can remember. It's been at least 6 to 8 months since I've bought it, maybe even a year actually. It's been over a year, because when I started cooking for all of us more, it would give Steve a reaction.
That's true. My husband is
and
very
so
sensitive.
I don't know what it was in there. Anyways, but since then, I don't mix my taco seasonings personally. I just season as I go. So the staples for that would be salt, pepper, garlic powder, oregano, cumin, chili powder,
paprika.
And I don't like paprika. Shoot. I like it on a like very select things. Not a huge fan of it though. But anyways, so like just having those staples spices on your counter. I have them right next to my stovetop. They're on my little shelf that I made, and I just bam, done. Easy.
But you don't need a lot.
No, you don't. If you don't make anything with curry, don't buy curry. You don't have to have all the different spices in the world.
No.
If you plan on making a new recipe, okay, obviously get the new spices. But I also don't mix together my Italian seasoning, because we buy in bulk herbs de Provence.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
From the bulk herb store, and it is divine. We just bought a really big bag, 2 really big bags. We each have our own really big bag, because we go through that a lot. I put it on everything, eggs, everything. It's delicious.
The other staple that you have a lot of is
cheese.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I love cheese.
So much with cheese.
My kids love cheese. It's such an easy thing. And there's like 3 different cheeses that I buy. I should add a 4th for my husband, just to be nice. But yeah. It's Parmesan. That's a special one. I don't always get it, but lately Azure Standard has had a really, really good price on their Parmesan, and I love it. So we've gotten that the past few months, so that's been nice to have. But then the other 2 are mozzarella and cheddar. Now I used to buy the little blocks with the organic, I think it was raw cheddar and raw mozzarella cheese from Natural Grocers.
It was expensive.
It was so expensive. It was like $5 to $6
for a little block.
12 ounces.
Yeah,
I think it's 12 ounces of cheese, which is a lot of money. And I would buy 4 to 5 of each every month. Because, like I said, we go through a lot of cheese. But then I decided just to buy bulk cheese off of the Azure ordering. And I get their raw cheddar cheese, and then I also got a mozzarella. So we actually went through 5 pounds. I got a big 5-pound block of cheese in a month of cheddar because we had it available to us, which was delicious.
Yes.
The mozzarella has now lasted me 2 months. I'm not even close to being done with it because that one we mainly use for pizza.
Yeah. And it keeps well.
It keeps great.
You know, just keep an eye on it. Make sure it's sealed properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure the humidity is in one of those drawers in your refrigerator because too high humidity for the cheese will mold it. You know, all the things that a lot of people don't think about the humidity in their refrigerators. You know, we all have those drawers with the little levers. You know, pick a drawer that's going to have low humidity, close it up, and put all your cheese in there.
Yeah.
And it'll last a lot longer.
Have a cheese drawer.
Yeah.
So I keep all my cheese. Okay, so let's talk about what kind of dishes like those are really good for. So obviously I said for the mozzarella, you use it for pizza. You can also mix it with cheddar and use half and half and make enchiladas. Enchiladas are such an easy meal to make. You could do ground meat, you could do straight beans.
Yeah.
My kids like the ground beef and black bean enchiladas. And enchilada sauce is not hard to make. You know those spices I named earlier? You just need those.
And tomato
and
paste.
some flour and tomato paste and broth. That's it.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
You don't have to buy the canned stuff.
You don't have to buy the canned stuff. You don't have it's another thing to store.
And it doesn't take that long.
No, it takes like 10 minutes, if that, maybe 5, to make a pot of enchilada sauce. That tastes delicious, and you can add more chili powder if you want it spicier or less. And you can make it how you want. Chicken enchiladas are a little bit harder. And we don't make those as often because I don't buy chicken that much. It's pretty expensive to get properly grown chicken. But anyway, so cheddar, I make quesadillas for my daughter all the time. She loves quesadillas.
You could literally put
any cheese.
Well, you can put cheese on anything. Put cheese on your eggs. I mean, everybody knows. You can put cheese on a piece of toast and toast it in your toaster. If you have a air fryer, stick it in there as toast, melt it on. Yum.
Easy peasy.
You know?
There's so many things you can use cheese for. Another thing is every month I buy a big bag of carrots. I don't peel them. I shove them in my vegetable drawer. And if my kids want a carrot, they grab it, they peel it, they eat it. And the peels go either to the sheep or in the compost. And that's an easy snack because we are an ingredient household. So we don't buy box snacks. There's nothing in my house that's a box snack. If my son is hungry and he wants something that's like protein, he has to go open a can of beans and make himself beans. Bam. That's another thing. Beans. Always have beans.
My husband loves beans. He could eat beans every day and doesn't care.
Yeah. And something that I personally make that's a staple is tortillas. Okay. You literally need water, flour, salt. You can use butter. I like to use tallow because it's cheaper than butter. Butter's also a staple, and so is tallow. We make our own tallow, so much cheaper. Look up a YouTube video, make it.
Yeah.
Keep it in stock. Cheapest cooking oil, healthiest cooking oil you can have. You can go to your local butcher. Every town has a butcher shop.
Yep. Just ask for a bag of suet. It's usually like $2 a pound.
Yeah.
And then you just melt it down. And it's not. There's millions of YouTube videos on how to do it. So we're not going to go into that.
It
saves us tons of money.
So much money.
Not buying.
Because I love olive oil, but it is expensive.
To get the good stuff.
To
It
get the
actually
good
is
stuff.
real. You know, because that's even suspect out there
Yeah,
in the
right.
store. But that's another video. So.
But yeah, so I mean that's expensive. Avocado oil, I mean that can be expensive, and I honestly don't trust it that much. So yeah, butter, your cooking oils, butter, tallow, coconut oil. Azure has a nice one that actually comes in a glass jar, which is good. Another staple is popcorn, and not in a bag that goes in the microwave. Like learn how to pop popcorn on your stovetop. It's stupid easy.
It is stupid easy.
You can put it. That's my kid's favorite snack. You put salt on it, and nutritional use for my daughter. She loves it.
And what's funny is, she was raised with popcorn. My father popped popcorn, and I wouldn't allow microwave popcorn into our home ever. So whenever she had friends over, it was always so much fun because she'd always want me to make popcorn because we're watching a movie. So I'm in there popping corn, and all her friends are in there watching, like, wow,
what is happening?
this is so
magic.
Cool. And the funny thing is, it takes just the same amount of time to pop it in the pan as when you put it in the microwave.
And it tastes so much
And you don't
better.
have all those additives. I mean, look at the back of your microwave popcorn if you're that inclined to do. And look at all that poison that you're actually ingesting and giving to your family.
And there may even be yellow food dye that we recently found out was in
God.
that popcorn we had to make at the concession stand.
Oh, yeah. When
we looked at the back of it, we're like, what is in here?
What's in
Yellow
here?
food dye.
Oh my God.
Nasty.
Everything in there was
all of it's
disgusting.
Gross.
So,
but anyway, so there's
and you know,
that.
on a little bit of a side note, this will be a video for another time, but we had a woman come in, cortisol, people my age. Cortisol is our biggest battle, and the more we talk about the natural staples and trying to stay close to more natural foods, products for our skin, all the things, the stress, okay, we all know what cortisol is now. It's that fight and flight response. Well, if your body is ingesting unnatural foods, things that we're not supposed to be ingesting, toxins, we're putting things on our skin, toxins, that adds to our physical stress, which doesn't help if you're struggling with cortisol. I'm struggling with it too. I'm trying to find ways to cut that back. That's another video. But this all ties into that healthy lifestyle that will help get a handle on these things that we just battle every day just by living in this toxic world that we're all in. I mean,
and you know,
I can't control everything.
I think it's so funny. I want to expand on that a little bit because as a busy mom, like it can be, I honestly, in this day and age, for me personally, I don't find it stressful to worry about the food that I feed my family. But I see like a lot of moms say, oh, it's so stressful. Oh, my kids are going to get poisoned by this. And it's just too stressful to think about. And so I just kind of do whatever. But to be honest, the more I just give in to what God has designed us as women to do, which is care for our family properly, I don't have that much stress about it at all. I enjoy it. I enjoy making sure my family gets good food, and I don't find it as a burden. And I'm not dogging anyone who may see it that way, you know? No. But maybe look at it from a different perspective. If you are one of those women, look at it from a different perspective. And maybe it won't be so stressful.
Start small.
Yeah, always start small.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
I mean,
oils and getting rid of high fructose corn syrup and food dyes. Like those are the three main things that I always tell people. If you're going to start, those three things first. Yep. Those are like the three biggest things.
The easiest to read, easiest to remember.
Yeah.
There's 3 ingredients. You spend a lot of time in the grocery store. You're just starting out reading all the ingredients of anything that you would buy. So just start small. That's that's always our suggestion for anything. Start small.
Yeah. Okay, some more staples. Pasta. My kids love pasta. We used to get the organic pasta from Natural Grocers. It was a little pricey. Yeah. So we switched to the organic one from Costco, which like 1 ingredient or 2 ingredients. I know how to make my own pasta. Sometimes I do. Yeah. It's delicious when I do, but it's a lot of work right now in this time of my life. But we also just found a really good whole grain einkorn pasta at Azure that wasn't super expensive at all. I got 4.5 pound bag, 2 different kinds of like shapes, I guess I could say.
Yeah, 2 shapes.
And my kids love it. They finished the entire pot of pasta, and I was totally fine with it because it wasn't dead flour. It was actually giving them nutrients, which again, we put butter on, which is a healthy fat, and we put salt on it because that's good for our bodies, and my daughter put Parmesan on it. Okay. Protein. Easy peasy. Yep. That can be a lunch pasta. Yeah. As long as it's proper nutrition pasta.
Yeah, it's interesting. A staple that used to be in my household was rice because I like rice.
Oh, I love rice.
But rice nowadays, I think you can get good rice. I haven't really looked into it. I just quit eating rice because it's one of the most pesticide ridden.
Well, that foods. And something that on this freshly milled flour journey that I've learned is the white stuff is basically like white flour. Like white rice is like white flour at the grocery store.
It's just dead.
It's dead. There's nothing to it.
So why eat it?
Because they strip all the bran off with the brown rice that no one wants to eat, and then you eat, garbage.
I don't like brown rice.
I just bought a jasmine brown rice from Azure. That's organic. Just a small little bag because I want to give it a try and see if, we like it because we love rice too.
Sometimes you have to train your palate though to like things.
That's true. It does take some training for sure.
And it's like teas or anything else you do. I mean, it's good for you. You can train yourself to like things. I mean, we train our kids to like things. When the kids, their palates change, their taste buds change as they grow. And because their taste buds change, every...
Oh, I don't even
know. They shed the cells and they get new cells. So when my kids were young, they would try something, they didn't like it. I didn't make them eat food that they absolutely, truly didn't like.
But the rule is your kids have to try it.
But they have to try it.
Every time.
Tell them, look, your taste buds might have changed, so let's try it again.
Yeah.
Taste buds change every 60 days or something.
Yeah.
So they learn, and then eventually something, I like it this time. And then your taste buds change, and maybe they don't like it the next time. As a mom, you can't totally go crazy over that. You just have to understand that that's a developmental thing. They're going to like things sometimes. They're going to not like it a month or two later. You can't think to yourself, well, you liked it last time and get all mad about it, because their taste buds might have truly, honestly changed.
As hard as it is, I get mad.
And so it is frustrating because you're cooking something you thought you liked.
Yeah. I do buy a pack of 12 canned pinto beans because they're pretty easy for my son. But I also keep dried beans on hand because, to be honest, if you have an instant pot especially, they're so easy. You soak them overnight in warm water, and then you just rinse it. You put it in the instant pot with more water for I don't even know. I have to look it up every single time. It's 12 or 15 minutes.
Ridiculously a little bit of time.
For high pressure. And bam, you have a whole thing of beans. And same thing with broth. Broth is a huge thing. I use it in so many recipes. And now I'm not perfect about this. I don't always have it ready to go. Right now I've been a little bit better about it because we're cleansing my husband's liver. But having bone broth on hand, which again, so easy to make. Especially in your Instant Pot, crock pot, whatever. You roast bones with maybe some onion and garlic in the oven to release the flavor. You add it to your Instant Pot or your crock pot and you cook it. The Instant Pot has a broth setting. I do that for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I have broth. One thing I have learned, if you add vinegar to the water when you do your broth, it actually extracts more minerals from the bones.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I recently learned that, so I'll be implementing that from here on out. And so that's something that you can use to make so many different things. Soup is so easy to make, especially in the wintertime. I love to make soup. So easy, so versatile.
Yeah. And homemade biscuits.
Homemade biscuits. I made freshly milled grain dumplings the other day on top of my soup, and my kids devoured them. Maybe I'll make that for dinner. Some soup with See, I don't even have a plan for dinner right now.
Yeah,
one thing I want to mention that I thought was a great idea, and I would love to implement more. I just need to remember to do it once a week. But I saw this on a podcast, Farmhouse on Boone. I love her podcast. She has 8 or 9 kids, home birth most of them. She has a whole business online. They have a homestead. Very knowledgeable lady. She's in her 40s. She just had her 8th or 9th baby.
Awesome.
Yeah. But one thing that she said that she does with that many children, I feel like if I had that many kids, I'd have to be better about this. But she gets a pan, and she goes to her freezer the beginning of every week, and she pulls out several different things and puts it in her fridge to thaw out throughout the week.
Okay.
And so that way she always has meat thawed out, which is something that I struggle with personally. I'm oh, hey, I wake up in the morning. I'm oh, I need to pull something out for dinner. And it gets to be 3 o'clock. I'm crap. I didn't pull anything out.
I forgot.
So I have to put it in some lukewarm water, not too warm because, plastic. But I try not to do that. I try and remember. But yeah, so that's something that she said on her podcast that I love that idea that I would like to be better at. So there's an idea for y'all. Maybe you can be better at it than I am. What's another staple that I have? I'm trying to think of all the things in my fridge. I said carrots. I always have milk.
Yogurt.
I love to get yogurt for the kids. My daughter has decided she doesn't like it very much, but my 2 boys love it. So that's something really easy. I buy really big containers of it from Azure. And I think I just bought 4 that came in a pack, and it wasn't like super expensive. It was organic yogurt, plain. I always get plain every single time. I never have it sweetened because another staple is maple syrup. I always try and have maple syrup at my house, organic maple syrup, and that one I usually get at Costco. I'd like to get the Azure, one of the ones that they have at Azure, but I really want to get the gallon size, which is expensive, so I have to budget for that one.
Yeah.
But my kids love syrup. That's how they sweeten their own yogurt. They know how to do it. They pour a little bit in, they mix it up. They want to add vanilla, they grab the vanilla extract. I have frozen berries. That's another staple. Frozen blueberries all the time.
Yeah.
Every month I order them. Frozen strawberries, I buy the whole ones, and recently I started putting them in my food processor to make them smaller pieces so they can just scoop out of the bag and put that in their yogurt if they want it in their yogurt. Another one is oats. That's a wonderful staple.
It makes them very independent too, because they've learned a lot of the stuff they can do on their own, and that's why she does it that way, which I think is great. As a mom, I know I had a drawer in my refrigerator that was low enough when they were old enough. So, like, this was their drawer. If they wanted something that they could just, start there.
Yeah.
And so with them being the ages they are, it makes them very independent to make their own food. And even your son, he makes food for the other 2 kids.
Yeah, he'll sit there and make some food for his sister. Or be like, hey, sis, I'll make you some beans. I just won't smash them. Because I don't buy pre-smashed pinto beans. Because he only likes, refried beans. So he has to pour the can into the pot, heat it up, put his salt, pepper, garlic powder in, wait for the beans to get, warm enough to smash. He has to go grab the potato smasher, sit there and smash all the beans. And then he has to leave the lid off and use the spatula and cook it up.
He's only 8.
He's 8. And then he picks up the pot and puts it in his bowl and sets it on the table for it to cool off a minute. And the one thing he is still learning to do is put the pot in the sink and soak it. Or rinse it out.
The water in it.
We're working on it. He's getting better.
He's getting better.
So it's okay. But see, that's a skill.
And he also will eat his food when he cooks it.
Yeah.
So,
And if he doesn't finish the whole thing, then he wraps it, puts it in the fridge, and then he'll pull it out later and warm it up himself.
Yeah.
So if I'm super busy in the morning, there's food for the kids that they know how to make. Or like my daughter, she can make her bowl of oatmeal. I just have to put the teapot on the stove top and warm up the water, and then I'll put the water on and put it in her food. And then she does all the rest though. She'll mix it up, she'll get everything ready to roll. I just have to warm up the water.
I think the other staple we recently started was homemade cream of wheat.
Oh, but you can do this without a grain mill.
Yes.
Because it doesn't need to be super, super fine.
I do it in my food processor.
Yeah.
I just take the berries, zip them up to because consistency is, I don't want mine to be just a big ball of mash.
Yeah.
So you can zip it up to the consistency of your preference. And then you sweeten it with honey, or I put cinnamon and hemp hearts in it, and you just kind of make it up however you want, to make it healthy. But it's healthy to start with because you have the whole grain in there, not like the cream. And to be honest, I hated cream of wheat as a kid. My mom would buy it, and I'm like, ew. Even when I was in the military, we had grits all the time. That was disgusting. And I just couldn't eat any of it. And so when she said, oh, look, a recipe for cream of wheat, I'm like, oh no. I was like, please don't.
I didn't even know what it was. I was like, this sounds like something from your day. What is this?
I'm like, oh my God, no. But we went ahead and did it. And, I'll tell you, I really like it for that quick breakfast because when you're eating this way, one of the things that has saved us buku money is not buying cereal.
Yeah,
the
cereal's not allowed in my house.
You can look at the cereal box aisle, and I can tell you at my age, because I'll be in my 60s, I can look down that aisle and think the boxes look the same, but we all know that's like the potato chip aisle. Your box is this big, but you have this much, and you're paying $7.
And there's no nutritional value.
If my husband, who loves cereal, it was hard to get him off of cereal, to be honest. He would still go buy cereal if he thought he could if he thought he could actually eat it at this point in his life, which he knows he can't, because it would not agree with him now. But you were going to pay what, $7 or $8? Some of that stuff.
The organic ones are what, like $10 to
$10.
$15?
You can't even afford those.
No.
So, and then the other ones are like, $3 to $5 to $6, and there might be 3 servings for a young boy. I mean, because they're going to fill their bowl. It doesn't satisfy them, so they're having seconds and thirds. Next thing, that box is gone.
Yeah.
So what's the point in buying it?
That's the big thing about snack food, and why I refuse to buy snack food, because they're just going to eat it. It does nothing for their body. It doesn't fill them up. It's a waste of money. Moms, it is a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like, it is not worth it. And the only like prepared snack foods that I'll buy are Larabars on occasion. And there's another type of bar. I can't even remember. Or no, meat sticks.
Yeah, meat sticks.
I'll buy meat sticks on occasion. They're expensive.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a cheapo. Like, I don't want to pay a bunch of money, okay? I'm
No.
sorry.
And there's a psychological aspect to this exercise as well. And that is, especially if you're raising children, if you're teaching them and you're buying all those snacks,
Convenience.
okay, what you're teaching them is that this constant munching.
Yes.
They get it's a behavior, and it's a habit. It's like smoking or any of the other habits that we all have.
They get bored. They
get bored. They're like, oh, I have nothing to do. Oh, I want a snack. So it's easy for them to go grab one of those snacks. So then they have this activity, this physical arm-hand memory, which is created psychologically to have the snack. Well, the snacks have no nutritional value. They do nothing but create free radicals in their little teeny bodies. They're more likely to get sick.
Behavioral
it affects
issues.
their immune system, behavioral issues. Now, if you're already on that road and you're trying to think about you are going to have at least a 30 to 60 day kind of detox on these kids if you decide to go down this route. And we're not going to lie.
It'll be hard.
It'll be hard. It'll suck.
I've never actually personally experienced that, because I've started my kids from like 0. But
we know people.
I know people who have. It's hard. It is hard, but it's not impossible. And being an ingredient household is great. Some more staples that are snack staples, okay? Chocolate chips, okay?
Yeah.
Not Hershey's chocolate chip.
Dark chocolate, natural.
Dark chocolate. Azure has a great one.
Yeah.
I keep bringing them up. I know there's Enjoy Life.
They should pay us for this video.
I know. Right? They should be a sponsor. Hint, hint, wink, wink. No, the Enjoy Life brand at Natural Grocers is really good. I do still buy the ones with organic cane sugar in them, because I don't want the other ones that have like erythritol or any type of chemical sweetener. I'm not about that life. But those are a great little snack. My kids will get like a little handful and they'll be satisfied, because dark chocolate satisfies you more. And it's actually proven to be really good for the brain if it's a proper kind of dark chocolate. Another one is roasted salted pumpkin seeds. Yeah. First of all, kills parasites in your body. My daughter loves pumpkin seeds. I also like to put them in muffins so my son will eat them, because he won't eat them by himself.
Right.
My little 1-year-old loves pumpkin seeds too. Raisins. Oh, my kids love raisins.
Yeah, can't go wrong with raisins.
Roasted peanuts. My oldest has been asking me to buy a combination of different things so he can make his own trail mix again, because he made one with raisins, chocolate chips, pumpkin seeds. That's when he actually was eating the pumpkin seeds, because it was all mixed together. Roasted peanuts, and I feel like there was one more nut in there, but I can't remember what it was. Nutritious as heck. Yeah. And he made it himself.
Healthy fats.
All just so good for him. And he made it himself, and he had his jar, and that was his snack jar that he made. And he was so proud of it. Again, only 8 years old. And he's been asking me, hey, Mom, can you make sure you get all the ingredients on the next Azure order so I can make my trail mix again? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah. So when did your 8-year-old ask you to do stuff like that?
Yeah. It was his favorite thing to take hunting with Dad, too, which was great, because he filled up, and it was an easy snack. So things like that, those are great snacks.
And if you think of things that maybe we haven't covered, feel free to add in the comments, because everybody who watches, we're all learning. We're learning. If you have something that you already do and you think it's great, please share, because we don't know everything. The whole purpose of this exercise of these podcasts is to help other people think about things, but also we want to hear from you all. We want to hear what you're doing, because it's like she said earlier, that she followed that woman.
Farmhouse on Boone.
Farmhouse on Boone.
If you don't follow her on YouTube, you should, because she's wonderful.
Yeah, and so we get ideas from other people all the time. We're like, oh my gosh, that's so great. Let's do that. Oh, that's really great. Let's share with our folks. So it's like we don't live on an island. You don't live on an island. We don't live on an island.
These podcasts are just conversation starters.
Yeah.
That was just chit-chatting.
Chit-chat.
Chit-chat.
Having a cup of tea.
Chit-chat. What movie is that from? Kung Fu Panda. The panda, chitty chit chat.
Okay, is there anything else that comes to mind?
I'm like going through I'm going through my pantry right now. I wanted to say the type of grains that we buy for the cream of wheat. We basically do half spelt and half einkorn berries. We just mix them together in a jar, and that's what we use for that. Because the ancient grains and the heritage grains are really, really nutritious and a little bit better than the regular hard wheat grains, which are still good and still full of nutrition, but the ancient and the heritage are always better. They are harder to bake with, I will tell you that much. I feel like there's something, one thing that you can do as far as the broth goes, if you save all your bones. You can mix chicken bones and beef bones. They don't have to be just chicken broth or just beef broth. You don't have to do that. You can just have a bag in your freezer.
Broth.
Just bones. Every time you eat, maybe not ribs because we're not huge pork people, but you could do that.
Have a bone-in ribeye.
Bone-in ribeye, any type of bone. You just keep sticking it in the bag in the freezer. When you fill up the bag, you make broth. Easy peasy. Or go to your local butcher shop and grab soup bones. They're not expensive. Soup bones are so cheap.
That's so cheap, yeah.
I also get them from Ranch Mama. I love her soup bones. She also has marrow bones, so those are fantastic.
Yeah, she's in Deer Lodge. She's one of our favorite people.
If you are in the area, definitely go see her about some beef. She has phenomenal beef. I think we do need to actually talk about freezer staples. What to always keep in the freezer, because meat can be expensive.
I don't keep a lot in my freezer, to be honest.
I know, you don't. You're different.
I mean, I have my frozen blueberries.
Oh, I know.
I have my organic frozen peas and my...
No, meat-wise.
Meat-wise?
Meat-wise, because once a year, my husband and I, we use our child tax return. Some people go buy a TV or a car or whatever. No, we're very practical people. We take our child tax return and we buy a half a cow.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this year we'll be able to buy a full cow. Now, last year we bought a half a cow and we shared it with my mom and dad, and it only lasted 6 months. So this year, hopefully we'll buy the full cow and it'll last us a whole year. We didn't get much in deer season. We only got one mule deer, which it lasted us about a month, which was good. We still have some steaks in there, which we process ourselves. If you don't have a lot of money for processing things, process it yourself.
It's not hard.
It's not. Look up a YouTube video.
Yeah, lots of YouTube.
So many YouTube videos. Yeah. Invest in I think our meat grinder was like $100, and we bought it at the beginning of our marriage 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still a champ. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to get a fancy one. But a big thing to keep in your freezer that's super cheap and you can do a lot of things with is ground meat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Keep ground meat in your freezer if you can only afford one type of meat, okay, which I'm in that boat right now. We don't make that much money.
Yeah.
Ground meat. If I have ground meat, I'm set, okay? I can make hamburgers, tacos, chili, meatloaf, meatballs, spaghetti and meat sauce. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, the list, enchiladas. Mm-hmm. There's so much more you can make with that.
Euro things that you
Euros. Okay, that's so easy. You know what you do for Euros? I make my own naan bread. Super easy sourdough naan bread. It's not a hard thing to make, okay? You make your naan bread. for the meat, you make it kind of like a meatloaf, but you put it in your food processor and you make it like a pureed meat with some egg and breadcrumb and yummy spices, add a tiny, tiny bit of cinnamon to it, which is another spice staple. And that kind of gives it a little bit of a Greek flavor, I think. And then you mash it into a log and you put it in the oven and you cook it. Yeah. Like a meatloaf. And then you pull it out. You pull it out of the juices and you set it on your cutting board and you kind of let it sit for maybe 10 minutes. And then you can slice it as thin as you want. And you can make your own tzatziki sauce. You need Greek yogurt. Or if you don't have Greek yogurt, just use regular yogurt. It'll still taste good. Lemon juice, if you have it. If you don't have it, I've used red wine vinegar, and it tasted phenomenal. Garlic, if you don't have actual garlic, use garlic powder. You can put cucumbers in it, but if you don't have cucumbers, leave it out. Salt and pepper. That's tzatziki sauce.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Delicious. There you have a meal right there with all the staples that we've talked about.
And the kids love it, actually.
And the kids just devour it. If you have some time to go to the store, buy some organic tomatoes and cucumbers and red onion, you can make a nice little salad that goes on top of it. Again, not a requirement, okay? Sometimes I make hamburgers, and all we have in the fridge is mayonnaise and ketchup, and I make some hamburger buns, and we have the patty. Hamburgers. Another pantry staple. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I haven't thought of these. The 4 mains that I have to have in my house all the time, no matter what, are yellow potatoes, russet potatoes, onions, and garlic.
Yeah, gotta have those.
And they keep really well. I buy more every single month, and we go through them.
When I think about pantry, I think of dry goods.
I know, but that's a really big staple.
Yeah, that's a big staple.
And one thing I love doing with russet potatoes lately is I'll wash them off, I'll cut them in half, I'll put them in my 9x13 baking dish with probably quarter cup of butter sliced up on top, and I'll put it in the oven, and I'll just put it at like 400 until, don't ask me how many minutes it's going to take. I just kind of keep checking it. After 20 minutes, I just poke with a fork, and when they're soft enough to eat, bam.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're like half-baked potatoes, soaking in butter.
I took that recipe and added a bunch of onions on top.
Ooh, yummy. Or you can put Parmesan cheese on top.
There you go.
That'd be delicious.
So you see, so you see all these things. You just keep it all around, and you can look around and think, don't have a lot of time. Let's see. Oh, I can whip up this hamburger and these potatoes, and as far as vegetables go, real quick. Let's touch on that.
Yes, that's an important
one. Let's touch on vegetables, because the vegetables in the grocery stores nowadays, they're zero. Okay. Yes, the organic ones are expensive. Are they better? Maybe.
Maybe slightly.
I'm not really sure that they always are if they're out of season.
Yeah.
So we've become in the practice of, like, late fall, like even right now I have a bunch of squashes in my cabinet. So I go and buy from the farmer's market, because we just moved out here, I haven't started my garden. So I buy a bunch of butternut and spaghetti squash, and I've got all these squashes tucked away in a nice cool cabinet, and they're just there till this time of year when I can start cooking them. So that, frozen vegetables that are good, that's pretty much all we eat in the winter until spring comes and we get the things that are in season. Yeah.
Farmer's market shopping is like the best. If you don't have a good farmer's market near you, Azure Standard has a lot of quality vegetables. I do get some vegetables at Natural Grocers if we go up to Helena. But yeah, just try and stay in season. Something that I learned from somebody's, I forgot what they're called, a homesteader. They were talking about storing apples in the winter and that they can last a really long time. And I was like, how do you make apples last?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Okay, this is what they did. I have personally not tried it, but I'm going to try it. Is they have a cooler and they lined it with like an ice chest, an igloo one maybe from the thrift store, okay? Don't go out and buy a new ice chest. Go to the thrift store. Line it with some boxes, okay? Just cardboard in there. And then they just put all their apples in it, closed it, and they put it in their cool garage. It can't get frozen, okay? So if your garage freezes and gets to freezing temperature, you can't put it in there. But if it's in a cool place, you know, like fridge temperature. They said that they can last like months, and then you can just go grab apples out of it.
That might be worth trying this year.
My kids love apples, and I know apples and bananas are not always in season, but that is something that I do get once a month, organic bananas and organic apples, or every other week when we get paid. If we can afford to buy, you know, a handful of each, we do. If we can't, my kids know, like, okay, well, we have to wait till next month. And then they eat 4 bundles of freaking bananas in 5 days.
Yeah.
So, you know, they want to eat it all that fast, that's fine. They just can't have any more till next month.
That's right.
They know that. It's just a treat, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, there's things that we're not mentioning, but you know, that's okay. We don't have to remember everything. Like we said, we were going to wing this one and not have any notes. We probably should have had notes, but it's okay.
You and your little notes.
I know, I like notes. They keep me on track. You know, but that's okay. Refrigerator.
If you are ever in the position to buy a share of a cow, whether it's a quarter, a half, 3/4, or a whole, if you are in the position to buy one and you have a freezer for it, buy it. It is so much cheaper to buy and convenient because you have all the cuts in your freezer. You don't have to buy it at the grocery store. I can't tell you how much money it saves me to do that. And, you know, next year we'll have lamb in our freezer, which will be nice because we'll butcher lambs in the fall or winter next year when we have them. But not everyone can have a homestead, okay? So find people who grow animals in a regenerative, healthy way and buy a share. What you've bought a share of a lamb before from a local girl.
I did, and it was wonderful to have that because lamb's expensive in the store.
Yeah.
You cannot afford.
And it's not even good quality.
I love lamb.
It's not even good quality.
And you don't even know what you're getting. So the person that we bought it from, it was just I just wanted to try it, so I think we just bought a half.
Yeah.
And it lasted quite a while because lamb is a very rich meat. Not everybody likes it. It's one of those things you have to train your palate to like if you don't already like it. But lamb is really good for you.
Yeah.
And there's so many things you can do with it. You can't cook it always just like you would beef because it is a different tasting meat. But I like having it. I still have like 1 or 2 pieces I just saving for later. So.
But yeah, so you know, keep your freezer. You don't have to stock it, but you know, go buy again. Ground meat is ground beef. That is just such an easy thing. One of the cheapest cuts you can get. Keep it in your freezer. You can make so many meals out of that, and if that's the only thing you can afford for 2 months, have fun experimenting because it is fun.
And let us know how it goes.
Yeah. And I do want to give one tip for ground meat that I've recently figured out because my kids refuse to eat onion. So if they see a piece of onion in their taco meat or their meatloaf or meatballs or whatever it is, they won't eat it. So what I started doing is I take a whole onion because we have 5 people that I feed on a regular basis. Now for her, she'd maybe do a quarter or a half. Or depending on your family, you can decide. And I think this makes it so much richer of a flavor. And my husband loves when I do this. Is I put it in my little blender cup. Most people have those. And I add, if I have a beer in the fridge, I'll put a splash of beer. It cooks out, so don't come after me. And I'll put my seasonings in there too. Salt, pepper, garlic powder. Those 3 things go in basically every meal that I make, no matter what. Okay, and then whatever other seasonings. And I put it in there, maybe some garlic, and I blend it into a puree, and I pour it into whatever it is that I'm cooking. And it enhances the flavor phenomenally. My kids have no idea there's an onion in it, and I don't have to hear them complain, which is like the biggest thing.
The biggest thing. So, and you still get your onion in the food because
I love onions.
I love onions.
And they're good for you.
Yeah.
If they're, you know, properly onioned.
If they're good.
Properly onioned.
If they're good onions.
If they're good onions, yeah. So that's a big thing. Maybe we'll have a part 2.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you have any suggestions on things that you keep in your house as staples, raising an ingredient household, then let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'm sure other people would love other opinions too.
Yep.
So leave us a comment on what you do, and don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can see when we do our next video.
Have a great day.
Bye.